y'all, My Style Crafts back to do another video. Today we are doing yarn dyeing. The things that you need are a type of dye, which I'm using food coloring, Wilton's Color Right system. So with a food color, a natural dye, food coloring, things like that, you need a protein-based yarn. I'm using wool. You could also use things like alpaca, silk, camel, things like that. Cotton and acrylic, things like that, they won't really take the dye, at least not very well. You also need heat and acid. Normally I use vinegar, but I just started using my own citric acid solution at about the same pH as vinegar. As for heat, I tend to use hot water. If I do hand painting on it, then I do a set in the microwave or a steam basket, things like that. But we will be using hot water today in pans. One of them is going to be space dyed, and the other two are going to be low immersion. So go ahead and get your ingredients if you want to join in, and let's get started. Alright, here's my pre-soak water. I have water and a citric acid solution. You could also use vinegar if you so desire. I started using citric acid mainly because my family started complaining about the smell of the vinegar. I'm going to leave that one undone, pre-soaked. I'm going to leave it in the skein form to try a cool, fun technique. Here I have 200-gram skeins, or hanks, of 100% wool, and I will be pre-soaking them for probably between 20 minutes and an hour, depending on what ends up happening. And here we go. Just go ahead and get that all into the water. You can always wear gloves during this too if you so wish. I don't care if I get messy or anything, so I don't really tend to wear gloves. Alright, now I'm going to let that soak and then we'll be back. Alright, this is going to be my dye bath. I will be putting in 2 tablespoons of my citric acid solution, because you need heat and acid, like I've said before, to dye yarn. 2 tablespoons. And then I will be doing 1 teaspoon of Wilton's Icing Color in Violet. And this is not hot yet. Or, not teaspoon. I meant a 1/4 teaspoon. Teaspoon would have been a bit much. This is brand new. Never used this before. As soon as I can get all of this off, I will be heating up the dye bath. And as soon as it's hot, I will come back and we will add the yarn. Alright, it is heating up quite well. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And I'm going to add this 100 grams of 100% wool. It's still in a skein. I haven't rewound it into a hank at all. We'll see what kind of interesting resists we get from this. So I'm going to put it in the water. And I did not pre-soak this one, as you saw before. That'll help with the resists a bit. Just swishing it around, trying to get it to soak up some water so that it won't float anymore. You can already see the subtle color differences going on. Now, as I know from a lot of other YouTube videos, the Wilton Violet breaks. It comes into a purple and a blue, so that's kind of what I'm hoping to get with some of these resists. Towards the center I might have some white, and it might have quite a bit of resist going on. But I will now let this sit, and I will probably come and poke it here and there. Try not to move it too much, otherwise it might just penetrate too much. Let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes, and then I will be back. Alright, so we have blue left still in the pot, and blues are notorious for not wanting to bind. So I'm going to add some more acid. And then we'll see where it goes from there. Alright, we're getting closer and closer. It has very little left in it. Just a hint of blue, that's it. As soon as it clears, I will pull it out and put it aside, and then we will start on the next technique. Alright, here I am. Sorry for the squealing in the background, my son is eating right now. So I have these cups that I got at the dollar store. I just put some water in them, and now I'm going to mix my colors. I'm going to do a rainbow on this one. So for instance, I'll take the blue, and I'll put a total of 10 drops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I'll end up mixing that up. So say with the green, I want it probably equal, so I'll probably do 4 of the blue, because the blue tends to take over, and 6 of the yellow. I'm going to do the orange, which I have an actual orange. So 10 of that. Can't forget the yellow. I'm going to do the red. So I'm going to do a purple. So I'll mix probably 4 of blue and 6 of pink. Right, and then I'm going to do a pink too, so I'm going to do 10 of pink. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, I'll go ahead and mix these up and then I'll be back. Alright, I'm ready to add some color. I'm starting with some pink. I'm just going to add a little bit in there just to kind of try to figure out where I want the colors. I'll be probably saving close to half of it. Color penetration in this technique doesn't always get what you want. So when I need to, I'm going to flip it and then add more color. Turn down the heat a little bit. You don't want it boiling. Oh, and I did add 10 more drops to my red. My red tends to lean towards pink, so I wanted it more red. I'm gonna let it sit. At some point I'll add more acid, and then we'll come back and possibly flip it. Alright, so I'm back. I realized, because I only put one skein in here rather than two, the color penetration is actually pretty good. Though, I have lost a lot of my orange and yellow, and it's kind of turned muddy, which is a shame. But I do have one more skein, so I've set up another pan over here. I'm going to grab my other skein. I'm only squeezing out a little bit of water so it doesn't drip across my kitchen. And set it up. Sorry about that. This is warming up, but it's not hot yet, so I can still put my fingers in here. Alright. Now I've been debating on if I want to do more rainbow on this one, or if I want to do something else. But since I'm probably not going to be adding any more to that one, that means I still have a lot of rainbow dye left. So I'm thinking that I might do rainbow. So I think this is going to be a little bit more randomized because it's kind of squished up rather than straightened out. I'm going to do it sideways this time and see where I get with this. I'm hoping you can at least see most of what's going on. I'm going to put purple over here. And blue. I'm trying to make them all about that size. Nope. That's not good. That's going to contaminate my yellow a bit. Now it's getting a little hot. Yellow, in a lot of concentration, tends to look orange, but I'm still trying to get as much yellow color as I can because almost anything else really contaminates it. Well, pretty much anything else contaminates it. So it's hard to get just plain yellow. Alright, so I'm going to let this sit, both of them. If I have to flip this one, I'll come back and let you know. But if not, I'm just gonna let them sit, maybe add some extra vinegar. But if not, I will pull them out and I'll see you at the washing. Alright, we're to the washing. Now, I had quite a surprise. This was my sideways rainbow and it kind of got super dark, but I'm kind of really loving it. So now we're going to wash it. I have these reusable nylon zip ties still on there. And as you can already see, there's still some bleeding. And we'll see how long that lasts. You want to still be super gentle so you don't felt it. That's quite a bit. And I am using cold water. Sorry if that's super loud. There's still a little bit of bleeding, but nowhere near as much. So I'm going to use a little bit of soap. You can use dish soap or anything, but I do have a Knit IQ No Rinse Delicate Wash. So technically I don't need to rinse this out of the yarn. This is enhanced with lanolin for softness. So it will soften up my yarn a little bit, which is really super nice. And it is also scented, mine is at least, a lavender citrus. So I really love this stuff. But we'll add just a little bit, you don't need much. Make sure all of the fibers get some of that rinse. See that I'm not being super aggravating, I'm just jiggling it a little so that all the water and soap can get in between the fibers. And I dip. And it looks like it has cleared. Alright. Sometimes if there was still a little bit due to the soap, I'd rinse it one more time, but it looks like this is all ready to go. So I'm going to wring out it a little bit more. Look that I'm not wringing it, I'm just doing some gentle squeezes. And then I will put it aside. And we'll do the next one. And it looks like this one is not bleeding at all. So all of that color is in this yarn. And then I'll do some with the rinse, some soap, Sometimes if there's a lot of bleeding, I will move the zip tie to another location so I can get in here a little bit better. But when there's like no bleeding at all, I just tend to leave it. Though, with the soap, it looks like some of the pink or the purple kind of bled. So I'll do another rinse. We're all good. And put that one aside. And now here's my last one. That skein that I did. It's kind of coming unraveled, so I want to be super careful not to get it all super tangled up. Doing some gentle presses just to kind of get the water moving inside of there. I'm really excited to open this one up and see what's inside. I love these tonals going on. You can see there's a little bit of blues there. Ooh, look at that. Looks like there's no bleeding on this one either this time around. So we'll add a little bit of soap. See, like I said, a little goes a long way. So just some gentle presses, not to felt it. Move around, flip it. Even with the soap, there's no bleeding, so we're good. All right. And now, what I tend to do is I have this salad spinner. So I'm going to put it in there. Put it on. Sometimes I lock these down, sometimes I don't. But I'm going to spin the excess water out of it. This will help it dry faster. I'll do this a few times. You want to go kind of fast, otherwise the centrifugal force won't get a whole lot of water out. lot of water when it comes to yarn drying. Alright, I'll finish this up and I will hang it up to dry, and then I will show you the end results. Alright, here are the final colors. I unwound the skein and we got some really good color variation going on. Really pretty. Here's the dark one. Turned out really pretty. When it started meddling, I got really scared that it was going to turn all brownish and mucky. But it turned out pretty good. And then here is that first attempt at a rainbow. Got a little muddy up here with the yellows and the oranges, a little bit with the green, but I still think it turned out really pretty. Alright. Any questions? Leave the comment, have the question down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. You know how it goes. And I hope you guys have a good day, and maybe even try your hand at some yarn dyeing. See you next time.